Hi there, it's another tarot sesh for Cancer. I'm the Can Astrologer. My name is Abby. And guys, I've got a really spicy one for you today. So your readings recently have been really interesting because you're like the only sign that I have to start out the reading by distincting high vibing Cancers and low vibing Cancers. Today, it's going to be a high vibing Cancer reading. However, I am going to explain the low vibing part so you know the other side of what's going on, because some people have to hear this. So it's so interesting and I love it so much. Okay, any placement anywhere in your chart. I know I've got Cancer in my chart too, but again, the difference is not what your placements are, where they are. It's, are you a high vibing Cancer, high frequency, high vibrational Cancer, okay? Are you a high vibrational person? Okay, doesn't matter your signs and the planetary alignments. Are you a good person or are you a low vibing person? Like the box, let me know. I want to know, are you my good crowder or what's going on here? I mean, of course, I don't think the low vibers are going to say anything. So let's get into this, shall we? Cancer. The song that I had on pre-shuffle for you when I was getting the cards together, it's called Body Count by Jessie Reyez. Now, it's a fabulous song. I absolutely love it. Body Count. When you hear that, and when you hear the concept of the song in the beginning, you think, oh, it means this, which is, in most cases, like people are talking about body count. This is like slang language for my other listeners in other countries, English slang for how many intimate partners have you had in your lifetime, right? And the song's talking about, I don't need to know your body count. I don't want to know your ex's name. Like, I just don't want to know that your past is your past, and we're going to leave it there, right? That's one definition, right? But then there's another definition of body count, and I think many of us know what that is. Where, if somebody gets caught with a certain, well, any body count, if you get caught with one, you go to jail, right? So, I was picking up on vibes like that. And then she goes on to talk about, mentions a rubber, like protecting yourself. So that can be, sexual protection, of course, but also making sure that you have other protection. Could mean legal protection. So some of the lyrics I dodged, okay, before I get into this, and calling in our spirits for higher peace, power, protection, and prosperity for the greater good, so mote it be. High vibing Cancer placements. High vibing people, thank you, spirit guides. I'm seeing sparkles when I close my eyes like that. I love that. Okay, now let's get into the lyrics. I dodge dick on the daily. Yeah, I know it's funny, but it's true. And I bought this Mercedes all by myself, got the papers to prove. We don't need no one, yo, trying to take our freedom. Yo, time won't let you stay young. So we don't care what they say, we gonna love who we wanna love. So, this, it touches so many points. I'm like channeling so many different things, so many different storylines. But, I was getting like somebody was trying to like control somebody else's life. Somebody's trying to watch somebody and watch who they're dating, and trying to control that, right? Now, this is the sick part, right? The darker part. This is like an ex, like somebody that's not even part of the storyline anymore. Like, it doesn't matter. It's not part of their life. It shouldn't matter at all. But they want to put their business, or they think it's their business to put their nose in yours, or vice versa. But take it as it resonates, right? And leave what doesn't. If this isn't your storyline, then, there'll be other parts of this reading that probably will be, right? So let's move on. So it doesn't matter. Like, you can love who you want to love. Now, on the flip side of things, low vibing, right? It kind of matters who you want to love, like, as long as they're legal age and things like that. That's all I'm going to say about that. So, and that's where the body count, jail, that kind of thing might come in as well. Okay, we're not going to go there. So, let's get into this, shall we? Higher peace, power, protection, and prosperity. As we get into the cards, one of the decks, it's the Fairy Tale Oracle, and it's like old fairy tales like that we grew up with, right? But ooh, you guys got 2 cards. But that's, and it makes total sense because I was saying high vibing, low vibing. So this one fell low, this one fell high. Wow. Okay. Learn underneath the deck. A little nudge, it's now your turn. Put on your thinking cap, it's time to learn. Somebody's about to learn some lessons. Low vibing, well, especially, but also this could be a very beneficial, beneficial lesson, right? That serves you in the future, right? And that's the way that you have to look at all lessons. Like when you learn something, that lesson becomes a blessing, right? Or it should. Okay, so the high vibing Cancers, trust. Okay, trust. Breathe in. Breathe out and let go out and let go of doubt. Breathe in, breathe out, let go of doubt. That should be your mantra. Trust. Breathe in, breathe out, let go of doubt. Now, low vibing. Fairy wings. In the forests, small lights glow. Those are fairies flying low. So I feel like this is basically telling, you know, some of y'all low vibing energies, or the low vibing energies, right? To believe in magic, and maybe they were like closed off to it, or maybe it was a darker kind of magic, because now we're talking about the Fae, and I'll tell you, the Fae are not ones to F with. If you know anything about fairy magic, anything at all, you have to respect it. And if you don't believe me, that's fine. I don't care. They'll let you know. You'll find out. F around and find out with the Fae. So Google it. Like, look up spiritual definition, how to treat the Fae, how to respect the Fae. And for those of you, even high vibing, that don't know anything about this, definitely go Google it. It's good information to know. Okay, so let's get into the tea. If you didn't think that that was juicy enough, holy shit, we're about to get into it. What else do we have for Cancer? High vibing Cancer, please. Spirits. Okay. All right. Underneath this half of the deck is Quill. Get back to the basics. I like that energy for you. Get back to the basics. You guys also have a ton of cards that just fell out. What else do we have for Cancer, please? Wow. Okay. Underneath the deck, Mountain Road. You are on the road to success. So that is good. Again, high vibing, right? Now, you have a lot of cards. Okay, really? Okay, guys, I'm going to try to show you these as much as possible. It's just, it's hard to pick them up off the table, and there's a lot. So, you are on the road to success. Hey, Boba. But get back to the basics. We start out with throne, position of authority. So we could be speaking about a man in a position of authority, okay? Now, this also, you could be a feminine, and this is like your masculine energy, and you could be in a position of authority too, but I really specifically feel like this is like a man in the past who was in a position of authority. This could be a boss, a CEO. This could also be somebody like, I mean, anybody over you, like in a business sense, but also like a husband or a father or something like that as well, right? So, throne, position of authority, and then we've got money path. A path with money is waiting for you to find it. Box, you will receive a gift. Okay, this is... Okay, box, you will receive a gift. But then we have ram, a stubborn, aggressive person. Now, it could be that same man, or this could be a different person. And then we have bread, period of prosperity and abundance. So this is like all good. You just have to deal with, you know, a couple of rams. This could be an Aries energy. Okay, so then moving on, we also have, and this came from the second deck, career. So this could have something to do with career August, the month of August. Okay. This could be this August, but I don't think it is. I think that this was an August in the past. Yeah, long ago. Like, it could be 1, 2, 3, 4, up to 4 years ago. Then we have Elephant. A long journey, either physical or mental, will leave you wiser at the end. So it's like the elephant in the room. There was something that happened. It could have had to do with your career, could have had to do with bread, prosperity, could have had to do with an aggressive, stubborn person, potentially an Aries, because you had been given a gift and a money path that was waiting for you. And it was a position of authority. There was celebration, fun, and enjoyment, but then wreath, sorrow over a loss. Also, there could be something significant having to do with a specific wreath. You could have made a wreath or like a door hanger or something. So if any of this resonates, then it's meant for you. High vibing Cancers. If you're high vibing Cancer, drop a comment in the comments below. Say, I'm a high vibing Cancer. Affirm it. Okay, now let's get into the tarot. I'm doing this differently this week. So, oh wow, we're already 11 minutes in. Okay, I saw 11:22 on the clock. You might want to look up angel number 1122 and drop it in the comments. What do we have for Cancer? So I'm doing it different. I'm doing the 3 main like themes. It's like the overall theme for the month with 3 cards, and then we're going to clarify with 3 each. Spirits, you know what to do. Let's get into it. Boom, 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 ba, ba, ba. I'm in a really good energy today. Okay, so underneath the deck we have the 7 of Pentacles. It's Taurus energy. You might want to go look up the Taurus reading. That was also really, it was high vibing if you have Taurus placements. 7 of Pentacles is about building and growth, but it's also looking back on what you have achieved and setting new goals for the future, okay? So it's like, even if you've suffered a loss or something like that, starting over again is not starting over again, right? It's starting with wisdom. It's starting with experience and knowledge. And it really sets you up at a better speed for growth, right? But it's about planning and progress, perseverance, diligence, reflection, and also remembering. So you could be remembering something that happened in the past. Let's get 3 cards, please, for high vibing Cancer. Thank you. Thank you. Wow. Okay. Wow. Wow. Okay, so high vibing Cancers only. Also, you could have strong placements in the 9th house. 9th house. So underneath the deck, we start out with the 9 of Cups. It's all about wish fulfillment. Now, for low vibing Cancers, this would be greed. It would be greed in somebody who's like very greedy, right? But for high vibing, it's everything has turned out well. Enjoy your success. And again, low vibing, it would be imperfection. It would be materialism, like mistakes and whatnot. When you're getting everything that you know, your wish fulfillment, it's because you have a certain belief, a certain faith, a certain trust in the universe. And these are for your high-minded, optimistic types of energies, right? And I love this. I love this energy. I feel like you got this in the past, but also I feel like this is what's coming in, because this is the main theme for the end of June. Oh, and I also meant to say, Cancer, this is for like the end of June 2025. I just like jumped into it because of the downloads I was getting, so letting you know. And it's for any Cancer placements, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Mars. Okay, so we start out with the 6 of Pentacles. This is a balancing out of finances and money. Sometimes it takes money to make money, but other times you have to, you know, be open to receiving as well. This is sharing your success. That builds more success. It's all about karma and flow. You know, what you put out into the world is what comes back. So it's giving and receiving. It's also about fairness and justice. So justice could be a big play about, like, play in this. I do see the scales there. Even though this is Taurus energy, it's about, you know, justice and nobility and influence. And it has to do with the high priestess energy. So you're dealing with a high priestess, or this could be you. And she's somebody who trusts in her own counsel first. The high priestess is the tarot card reader of the zodiac. So obviously you're getting tarot card readings right now. You could be a tarot card reader. You could be dealing with a tarot card reader. It's water, you know, moon energy. And it's the balance of oppositions and decisions. You know, there could have been a situation where you're like head to head, but it's somebody who's keeping balanced and who's been grounded the entire time and who knows things. She knows secrets, knows them, right? And she may keep them hidden for a very long time, but she also will say them when things like justice need to be, you know, said. So it's an energy of change, fluctuation, wisdom, sound judgment, common sense, awareness, and intuition. Then what you have coming in the future here is the Queen of Wands. Now this can also be your same energy, or you could be dealing with a completely different person. I kind of feel like, for some of you, I feel like the High Priestess and this Queen of Wands is the same energy, right? Because what you'll be moving into is more of a Queen of Wands energy. Now Queen of Wands, she's very passionate. She's also very magical, very wise, mystical, but also passionate about what she does or who she's involved with. So this can be like passion towards a person, romantic or platonic, or it can be passion towards work, career, business, finance, what they're passionate about, passion projects, things like that, okay? So you can always call on your natural confidence. Some of you may have a black cat, or maybe dealing with somebody who has a black cat. This is a card of warmth and enthusiasm. I already said passion, you know. Somebody who's very determined, adaptable, a steady force, very independent, right? Love it. I do feel like this is like the energy that you'll be in, especially as you obtain wish fulfillment. Something's going to get a lot easier. Oh my God. A lot easier, smoother communication, moving towards calmer waters, and you're going to be sitting pretty in Empress energy. Oh, love it. Because somebody defended themselves. Morals, ethics, beliefs, values, goals in a situation. You guys, this is freaking beautiful. For the high vibing Cancers. Just putting it out there. I love you guys. All right, what else do we have for Cancer, please? Something does not want to be said. Okay, that was easier. Let's get into it. Energy going into clarification. Ooh, yeah, because there's been fighting. Five of Wands. More passionate energy. This card has been popping out for the entire month of June in all the readings, so I'm not surprised. This is what's currently going on, guys. There's fighting amongst 5 different people, 5 different groups. It could be 5 departments. It could be 5 family members. Take it as it resonates in your storyline. Everybody has a different astrological thumbprint, okay? Everybody's birth chart, natal chart is completely different from the next. So that's why when I say I'm in your reading specifically dealing with just like high vibrational Cancers and people in those energies, it doesn't matter where your placements are. So what do we have for the 6 of Pentacles? What's balancing out? Spirit guides. They're laughing right now. They know exactly what I'm talking about. Something's balancing out because somebody walked away. One more. Somebody walked away, and this could have been in the past. Wow. Yeah, because they were in this wounded warrior spirit. This is somebody who's been through the ins, the outs, the ups, the downs. So we start out with the 8 of Cups, right? This is somebody walking away because of emotions, feelings. Somebody was hurt. But when somebody walks away, that means they're walking towards something greater. Now, they're walking towards mountains, which this could have been a journey. Oh, yeah, mountain road. Look, you're on the road to success. So when they walked away, it could have, you know, been even more of a journey, something really tough. But look, but then we have the Wounded Warrior card that comes up. This is somebody who's been through it, the ins, the outs, the ups, the downs. They've been ran through the gauntlet, right? But they have made it, and they're with that brings them the lessons, which becomes the blessings, which we were talking about, right? So they're wise. and they're ready to give it one more go, one more heave-ho, you know, but they're tired. You know, they just need that 10th wand so they can lay down the burdens and move on to the next beautiful beginning with the Sun card. Happiest card in the deck. That's what they're working towards. That's literally, in most other Rider-Waite tarot decks, what the Eight of Cups is walking towards is Sun. And it's funny because that's the third card that fell. You guys know that when this balances out, no matter how hard that you've worked, it's ending with the Sun. So that's what we're looking at right now, and it's freaking gorgeous. Okay, so energy going into the current energy right now, like what we're dealing with, Tower. There's some kind of destruction. Something's coming down. It could be a foundation. It could be a business, a company, a relationship. It could be, you know, a marriage or something like that. Whatever. It, just take it as it resonates. Again, everybody's storylines are different. But when the Tower falls down, this is Scorpio energy too. It's because it wasn't built on a stable foundation in the first place, right? So the silver lining is so that you now have an opportunity to build a more stable network, a more stable business, a more stable relationship. What do we have for the High Priestess? Let's get 3 cards, okay? I love that. 4 of Cups, but it fell in reverse. I love that. What else? Oh, wow. I'll take them. Okay. So we still have the Tower card underneath the deck as the current energy. So there's still something that's transpiring, is what I'm getting. Oh, but I love this. Okay. And I see how they wanted me to read it. Okay, so the 4 of Cups fell in reverse first. When the 4 of Cups is upright, this is somebody who is over it, right? They're bored. They're not being grateful. They're not paying attention to what's being offered around them. They're like, whatever, okay? Like that kind of energy. But when it's in reverse, this is somebody who is over it, right? So much over it that they're now doing something about it. They're not in that negative mindset. They have forgotten about the past. They've moved on. It's like a much more grounded and balanced energy. And as the High Priestess, clarifying the High Priestess, this is somebody who's learned that lesson, right? They understand to let it go, you must let it flow, right? And that's exactly when you're pouring out those cups, you're letting it flow to the next lesson, the next, you've already learned what you need to learn, right? So speaking of let it flow. Okay, so then we have a Knight of Wands. This is somebody who's giving it another go. It's that 10th wand. He's holding the Knight. He's giving it one more heave-ho. That being that warrior, okay? The Knight of Wands is such a funny, interesting energy to me. Many readers call this a one-night stand, guy or girl. But also, like, okay, so again, wands are about passion. It could be passion towards a person, romantic or platonic. If it's romantic, this can be your one-night stand. This could be you're here for a fun time, not a long time. This could be your, you know, just somebody who wants to date around. But we're all adults. I mean, we should all be adults watching this channel, right? But we have that right to make our own decision, just like the song. It doesn't matter what our body count is. It's nobody's business, right? At the same time, you got to be careful about this energy. You got to make sure to, you know, strap it up and make sure you're, you know, protected and everything, because you can be a little bit of a lover boy or lover girl energy. But if this isn't towards romance, this is somebody who's just, you know, has a lot of friends, and they may not be, you know, romantic with them, but they have a lot of friends. They have a lot of fun, right? Popping in, popping out. Now, if you're applying this to business and the energy of like what you're passionate about, passion projects, this is fantastic energy. This is your salesperson that goes out there. They, you know, get a client, grab a star, put it on the board, come back, do it again, you know, because they're passionate and they love what they do, right? This is great energy when it comes to business. And this is somebody who's just like ready to go on to the next thing, person, romance, or otherwise, right? And that next thing, holy shit, guys. Cancer energy, Ace of Cups. This is, aces are gifts from the universe. This is a new romance, a new relationship. This could be a new business partnership. It's going to be something that you love, and it has the potential, very, 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 very good potential just by itself to be very successful. But then guess what else? Guess what else fell with it? I'm getting like stumbling over my words. The Six of Wands. Success. Victory. Are you kidding me? And I feel like that energy is happening right now. Now you also could be dealing with the fire sign, Leo, Aries, Sagittarius energy. Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces, Leo, Aries, Sagittarius. Very cool. So then we have the Queen of Wands. What's this Queen of Wands energy coming into the future? What is this Queen of Wands energy? Now I will say, and I have to be completely honest, I would not be a good reader if I did not just give you this forewarning. The Queen... Clarification. Did you hear that? The Queen of Wands can also be the other person, the third party. It can be a third party energy, the other woman. So there could be another woman in a certain situation, but I still see victory happening for what's going on right now. Now, for some of you, you could be the other woman. Or maybe not. Maybe not. Okay, this is getting weird. Some of you, because we're talking about body counts, some of you may be in polyamory or polyamory, or okay, whatever, you know what I'm trying to say. Relationships with more than one person, okay? There's nothing wrong with that. And because what I'm seeing, what's clarifying the Queen of Wands, we've got the Empress, which is a whole nother person. Somebody, Empress energy, right? We have the Eight of Pentacles. This is somebody who works really, really hard at what they do. And then we have the King of Wands, which is the matching counterpart to the Queen of Wands. Now, I'm going to explain this a couple ways, guys, because no matter which way I explain it, it's actually really freaking good, okay? Because then what's clarifying the Nine of Cups underneath the deck is the Three of Cups. Holy shit. Injustice. What was I saying about justice? Somebody's going to get justice. Somebody who's been fighting for it. There's going to be a judge that was looking at a situation. Ten of Cups behind that. Making a decision. Yeah. It's going to be fair. It's going to be a fair and balanced decision. It has to do with the Empress who is working really, really hard, and a King of Wands also who is working really, really hard. But then there's some kind of Queen of Wands in the picture too. It's like everybody's getting, this is so weird. It's like everybody's kind of getting what they deserve, getting what they worked for, and then they're celebrating it in the end. For the high vibing, okay? Not the people who have done anything wrong. And for the people who did something wrong, I don't really see that so much on the board anymore, because I said I was going to do this for the high vibing, right? But it's because, like this is what you got through. This is your reward. So, like, you could be coming into a new partnership, a new relation, especially if this makes a lot of sense if this is work-related. This Queen of Wands feminine energy could be coming into a new job, a new work situation where they're going to be a master at what they do. They may even become an Empress. There could be a King of Wands there involved that you work with. He doesn't exactly look super pleasant, but he will be a counterpart, somebody who works in unison with you. Doesn't have to necessarily be attached to you. It just could be like a third party, third person. Also could be somebody who gets justice. Take it as it resonates. Now, wow, we're already at 20. Your reading's going longer. I should do a part 2 to this. 29:29 on the clock. This is, okay, so if any dark parts come out, this is where it's going to happen. And I'm just going to say it's at the 30-minute mark, since we're going over 30 minutes. 30-minute mark. This is where it gets spicy. Let's go. What do we got, spirits? for our fairy tale oracle. Underneath the deck, we have Snow White Purity. So this card already popped up underneath the deck for another reading. Makes a lot of sense. Makes a lot of sense. The dark parts of this, right, was somebody's purity. Somebody tried to steal somebody's purity. And I feel like, and when I say purity, I mean innocence. Now, if we go super dark, it could be real, like true, like, you know, younger energies, purity and innocence. But in much, much lighter, brighter sense, we're talking about, you know, somebody who was naive walking into a situation. It could have been work, it could have been a relationship, but somebody saw that and still took advantage, right? And so, but they walked away from it. They got away from it. And what they walked towards was the sun energy. And it ended up ultimately becoming a victory, some kind of justice in a situation where then they're able to level up into what they were supposed to have been in the first place, which was that Empress energy. Okay, because that's like kind of like the story of Snow White. It was all due to jealousy. You know, somebody was super jealousy of her purity, of her beauty, of her innocence, right? But I'm going to read the definition to the top card. We have number 19, the little match girl. And it's all about choice. Somebody had the choice to light that match and cause a fire, right? Interestingly enough, this is also the very same picture as the cover. And so there's a lot of energy, a lot of reflection, a lot. And here's the thing, the light match girl is also, she shines a light on something. So there will be a light, like this could be a big thing, a big deal, a big situation. The 19th could be significant of June 2025, or whenever you're seeing this. This message is meant for you whenever you're seeing it, but I'm doing it for the end of June 2025. Okay, also 19, but also 1 plus 9 is 10, and 10s are endings, but they're also new beginnings. Choice. Her little hands were almost numbed with cold. Oh, a match might afford her a world of comfort if only she dared take a single one out of the bundle, draw it against the wall, and warm her fingers by it. She drew one out. Risht! How it blazed, how it burnt. It was a warm, bright flame, like a candle, as she held her hands over it. It was a wonderful light. So if this tale teaches us nothing else, it is to empathize with the little match girl. A spare and bleakly beautiful tale, the little match girl moves amongst her township with bare feet, her 2 large slippers lost in the dash to avoid carriage wheels, one stolen, one lost. She has a bundle of matches to sell on New Year's Eve, and she cannot return home without money or she will be beaten. The weather is cruel, she is freezing, starving, and on the verge of death. Yet instead of bitterness and hatred, she strikes the matches one by one, and with each struck match comes a vision of familial love, a presence of her grandmother, food and warmth and comfort and love. Everything she lacks lives in the flame, and she is utterly alone except for the visions that the matches bring to her, and the escape she makes into the arms of her grandmother into death. So the terrible sadness of this tale is a deliberate call to action on behalf of the writer. So Hans Christian Andersen is the one who wrote this tale. And as an oracle, this card calls to you to not turn away from the hardships and sadness that you see others suffer. Also, remember that they are just as you, only less fortunate and blessed in that moment. It also speaks of resilience of the human spirit and the necessity of the flame of love, which we must light and light again. It is the treasure of memories and the visions and dreams of loved ones that can bring us so much comfort. Remember that you have within you the source of warmth and light, and within you is all you need to recall and bring forth family and love of beauty. So draw on the visions, the imaginings, and the memory, even when you suffer, and you will find a way through. This is also a call to action to offer some kind of assistance for those people, children or animals, who need you to share your good fortune, your warmth. Ultimately, the story reminds us that coldness kills, and warmth, the flame of love, either can keep us alive or help us reach a new life altogether. This is also a card that reminds us that children, especially those who suffer, can teach us a great deal about fortitude, courage, and love. So the meaning behind this story is hope, death, the afterlife, compassion, but wait, there's more. Choice. You have a choice. No matter how harsh the circumstances, you have ancestral guidance from the female line. You have experienced a great loss. You deserve love, comfort, and warmth. Your visions and memories of loved ones bring much comfort and messages from beyond the world of the living. That's beautiful. So take it as it resonates. I know that message can resonate for many of you in many ways, on all different storylines. I know for my Cancer placement, that definitely resonated with me as well. Okay. Now, I will say, this King of Wands, I do want to add this. This King of Wands that I'm looking at, like I said, you may not have to be with this person. A King of Wands, a standalone King of Wands, he's much like in that Knight of Wands energy where he's kind of like a lover boy. Everybody wants to be with him. He could have a lot of money or whatever, but he's kind of full of himself. But he's also very passionate and very good at business. So that could be just somebody that you're working with. I do see work. A lot of work, but a lot of celebration, wish fulfillment, a lot of celebration. Leo, Aries, Sagittarius energy. Also, the Empress and or Queen of Wands could be a Leo, Aries, Sagittarius. The Empress can be anybody. The Empress can be a Scorpio. It can be a Taurus. She could be whoever. She's Taurus. The Empress is Taurus, Libra energy. Also could be somebody with Taurus, Libra placements. Underneath the deck, we have number 44, New Beginnings. Let this magic in my spell clear the space in which I dwell. You may want to clear the space around you. Do some spring cleaning, summer cleaning, to bring in new beginnings. Number 44, somebody could be 44 or approaching 44 years old. Top of the deck, we have number... Love it. Number 5, Cancer, Justice. This is the energy of Ma'at. If you don't know anything about Egyptian theology, go look up Ma'at. It's a goddess, feminine, okay? I feel very strongly, especially if you have feminine Cancer placements, you're high-vibing Cancer, please drop a comment in the comments below or smash that like button for me. But you're getting justice, baby. So, by the power of 3x3, Ma'at, deliver justice to me. The truth shall set you free. And that is where I'm going to leave this at, Cancer. If you're interested in a personal reading, make sure you drop a comment in the comments below, like, share, subscribe. Also, go check out the full moon reading, the monthly reading for Cancer. If you haven't seen it for this month, definitely want to go check that out. You also might want to check out the full moon reading I just did for the strawberry full moon, which happened in the month of June. For this month. So, but that's where I'm going to leave you. And I hope you guys have a fantastic end of the month. I'll see you guys on the flip side. Peace, Cancer.